All right, we're recording. Okay, guys. So, some of you, actually pretty much everybody, after I tell them that I've been working really hard on Instagram, has been asking me for tips about it for a while. And I did like a short little training on this for my team with the things that I found out. But I honestly did not start using Instagram at all until like June 1st. That was when I really just decided. I was like, okay, I'm going to go full force, try to learn everything that I can about this platform so that I can use it. Like not only for me, but just for brand recognition in general, because like there's not that many reps on Instagram really. And the ones that are on there aren't sure how to really find the target market and build a lot of followers. So that's why I spent so much time researching this. I'm going to preface this with I'm by no means an expert on Instagram because I just started using it less than 2 months ago, but I've read a lot and I've researched a ton. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. Okay. So like I said, everything that I know about Instagram, I've learned within the past 2 months. On June 1st, I had like less than 400 followers. I think it was probably around like 380 or something like that. And today I'm almost at 1,500. Probably like 30 of those were reps from last night that followed me after I was talking about Instagram stuff, but I'm getting close. I'm going to hit 1,500 tonight for sure. So what really kind of kicked this off is I watched this webinar by this lady. She's like a business coach. Her name is Hillary Rushford. You guys should look her up. She has like a free Instagram course that she runs like every couple months or so. And that's what kind of kicked this off and made me think like, okay, we should really be using Instagram. I think the most important thing about Instagram and the reason why it's so important to what we do is because it is probably one of the only platforms that allow you to go in and target people so specifically. And I'm not talking about like paying for it and running ads and targeting. I'm talking about it's free. You can run through and target people yourself. Okay. And I'm going to go into that in a few minutes, but we're going to go over some like basic things about Instagram first. Okay. So like if you know nothing about Instagram, like this little part is for you. Okay. I think with what we do, it's a lot more professional and easier for people to contact you and trust you as a business if you have a business profile. I've had a business profile for a while and I haven't seen that be a negative thing for me. I think if you were like doing more like network marketing and if you were trying to more like be people's friend to get them to purchase, then maybe you might want to have a personal profile. But I mean, we're a business. All of us have our own individual businesses. So I think you should have a business Instagram. Also, if you have a business Instagram, it gives you analytics on everything. So you can see like what time of day your followers are on. You can see, let's see, what days they're on. And it gives you also, it'll tell you like if a post is doing better than others, it'll pop up at you and say this post is doing better than 95% others in your feed. And it will also allow you to pay for advertising. That's a whole different thing. I don't think that you should pay for any advertising whatsoever until you know how to do it. Like really like research it because there's so much that goes into that and boosting posts. And if you don't know what you're doing with it, you're literally throwing money away, even if it's only $5. Okay. Okay. And then another thing with the business page is you can merge it with your Facebook business page. So, that helps with running ads too, once you're ready for that. And one thing with your Instagram profile that I notice a lot of people not doing is where it has your name, not your @ handle. I'm talking about your name on there, where like mine, it used to just say Shelby Williams. I changed it to say Agnes and Dora Shelby W because that's my like business name. You know, that's what I run everything else off of is Agnes and Dora by Shelby W. And the only reason why I don't have by in there is because it was too long. Otherwise I would have done it. But there's more Shelbys, so I needed to like differentiate myself. But the reason why is because when you go to follow somebody on there, if it just shows your name, then like the person that gets the notification, they're just going to get a notification that, oh, random Shelby Williams followed me. I don't know who that is, you know, but then if it says Agnes and Dora Shelby W, they're going to be like, wait, what? And if they've heard of us before, they're going to be like, oh, and if they haven't, they're going to be confused and come look at my profile. Okay. Because they're going to be like, obviously this is something, you know? So that's really important. Another thing that I use a lot is Linktree. That's what my link is in my profile. I can go more into detail about that, but it's pretty simple. I recommend paying the $6 a month for it because it gives you analytics and it'll tell you how many times people have clicked a specific link in your Linktree. I mean, it's only $6. It's worth it to have that kind of analytics, so that way you can see, oh, I did this post and that really drove people to my shop link the next day, you know, or I did this post and it drove people to my Facebook group the next day, you know, so that's why I think you should pay for it. And then also I have a separate party link for my Instagram shop now button, like in my link tree. I have a totally separate party link for that, so I can see what sales are actually coming through Instagram and like can differentiate that from my regular sales. So my regular sales, I just have that party called open. And my Instagram one is called Hello Gorgeous. So I can always know. And it's kind of cool too. Like whenever I get an email of like a new order placed and it's Hello Gorgeous, I'm like, yes, Instagram. But okay. Anyway. And then for your bio, please do not put something that everybody else has on their bio. It is the first thing that people are going to see. They're going to look not only at your pictures, but they're also going to glance at your bio. And if it makes them stop, that's what you want. Okay. It doesn't have to be like something totally outrageous, but just be yourself in it and make it short and sweet. Just like one sentence, you know, of what you do and who your feed is for. Like mine says, mine just says, I sell pretty clothing and empower those who choose to be unstoppable, because my team is the team Unstoppable. So that's why I have that. And I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I think making it short and sweet and making them kind of do a double take at it will work much in your favor. Okay, that's just Instagram basics. Now onto the fun part, the targeting. This is the hard part, okay? It's not actually hard, it just can be confusing. I literally have 4 pages front and back written for you guys for this. Okay, so to be able to actually sell on Instagram and make the people that are following you or liking your photos actually go click that shop now button, all boils down to your target market. You have to know exactly who your target market is. I think this part is even more important than the content that you have on your feed. You can have amazing photos. You can have the most beautiful pictures ever. But if you're not targeting the right people, you're not going to be actually seeing sales come from Instagram. You're going to have people that like, oh yeah, that's a cool picture, you know, but they're not going to be like, I want that, you know, there's a difference. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So the cool part about target market is everybody's is different, even though we all have the same clothes. And like, even now, like as we're moving more towards like, we can do pre-orders and stuff on launches and everything. Like all of our inventories are going to look kind of similar, you know, even if you choose not to carry a ton of stuff. And obviously not everybody's going to choose to carry everything, but we all have like similar styles of clothing in our inventory. But my target market is going to be different than Angela's target market or Kat's target market, you know? I know my target market like the back of my hand, and that is why I've gained 1,000 followers in a couple months. And they're engaged too. That's a big thing too. If you see people with like thousands and thousands of followers, but they're getting like 100 likes on their picture, their people aren't engaged. They're not. They might not even be seeing their posts, okay? And there's something else that I'm going to talk about later too that I just found out about a couple weeks ago. Okay, most of the time your target market is actually just yourself. So you don't need to think like too hard about it, because whatever you are as a person, like your age, your demographics, what kind of things you're into, that's going to be your target market, because it's going to be way easier for you to talk to those people and get them to know, like, and trust you. Okay. I like your cat. See your cat. Okay. So for example, my target market is ages 25 to 35. They're like usually moms. That's really who I target, is like trendy moms, busy moms. And also, this is a big one, and I hope that nobody gets mad at me for saying this. My target market is previous or current LuLaRoe shoppers or consultants. That is my target market. And I believe 1000% that should be all of your target market as well. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason is because, sure, there's going to be a lot of people that, you know, a lot of our clothes are kind of boho, you know, like Free People, Anthropology, you know, Gap even. Like, I've seen people relate us to Gap. But the difference in those shoppers and the people that are used to shopping with LuLaRoe is when people go on Gap and they're shopping their website, they click add to cart, they click place order, they pay right there, okay? The way that ours is they go in, they add to cart, they click place order, they wait an hour the next day for an invoice, okay? If you had never heard of a company that was selling clothing in a direct sales way, you would be sketched out. You would be like, why can't I pay right here? What is this, you know? So that is why I think it is it is easier for you. It's way easier. I'm not saying you have to do it. You can do whatever you want, but it's going to be way easier for you. Your sales are going to be higher if you're targeting people that are already used to the way that we sell, okay? Okay. How to figure out who your target market is. You need to think about like your VIP customers, like who buys from you a lot. And if you're just starting out and you don't really have a VIP customer yet, just base it off of yourself. Think about like what their job is, their ages, their marital status, their interests, what they love, what they hate, everything. Okay. You really need to be able to answer these questions super in depth to be able to start finding them on Instagram. And you should be able to answer all of those questions before you even try to start finding people on Instagram. I know it's really easy to just like go into like LuLaRoe's Instagram and like follow all of them because you're like, oh, this is kind of my target market. But I mean, not really, because even the people that are following that, like, you're not going to resonate with all of them. You know, you still have to go deeper into that and find your age range, your demographic, all of that. Okay. So target market is super important. So once you figure out who your target market is, once you kind of have a handle on it, this is what I did to start finding them on Instagram, okay? I literally took my phone out in my notes app and I listed 10 to 15 words that describe my target market. And after that, in each of those words, I came up with 5 hashtags that that person would use. You guys following me? Can somebody nod? Okay, I'm going to say that again. I wrote down 10 to 15 words that describe my target market, okay? So I wrote down like trendy moms, 25 to 35, okay? We'll just keep it simple with those. And then I came up with 5 hashtags in each of those that that person would use. So 25 to 35, what is that? That's a millennial. That's a 90s baby. That's an 80s baby, okay? So I thought about things like that. And to make it easier, you really just have to think of like 1 or 2, and then you can go into Instagram and search in tags. And like I would search 90s baby, you know, and then it's going to come up with a whole bunch of other tags that are similar already on Instagram. It will do that for you. So then you can just search in there, okay? Those are your hashtags. It really is not that time consuming if you know who your target market is. That's the longest part. Sorry, my kid's screaming. That's the hardest part, and the longest part is figuring out your target market and narrowing it down, okay? after you have all of these hashtags, which it's going to be a lot, okay? But it's good to start with a lot and kind of narrow down which ones actually are working for you. This is how you target. So first, you're going to look at your description words, and you're going to think of what Instagram pages they're going to be following, okay? So, man, people are going to hate me to keep bringing this up, but something really easy to go to is like LuLaRoe, or the people that are like high up in LuLaRoe, you know, that have like thousands and thousands of followers. You can go into their profiles and start engaging with their followers. And I'm going to talk more about engaging later, but that's the way to do it. Just go into, like, if your target market likes Starbucks, okay, you're going to go into Starbucks in their followers and in their photos and who's commenting on it. That's even better, the people that are actually commenting on it, because that means they're engaged followers, okay? So that means they're not just following Starbucks and liking pictures and like never going there. They're like actually commenting on their stuff and they're engaged in it, okay? So that means if you start engaging with them, they're probably going to engage back with you, okay? But obviously you're not just going to go through and follow like everybody on Starbucks. You need to like actually go in their profile and be like, okay, this girl, she looks, you know, around 25, 30, and she looks like in her profile picture, even if it's private, you can find out a lot from somebody just from their profile picture and their bio. It, like, say her bio says, you know, mama of 3, and then in her profile picture she's wearing a cute dress. I'm like, she's totally gonna like us, you know, she's gonna like my feed, she's gonna like what I have to say, what I have to post. So I'm gonna follow her. Even if it's private, I'll follow her, because all the other things lead up to, this is my target market. Now, it's easier if their profile is public, because then you can actually engage with them and go through and like their pictures. What I do, what pretty much works every time if you're targeting the right people, is if you go into their profile, like 4 photos, 4. Don't be creepy, just the first 4. Don't like go all the way back to 2014, but just like somewhere in their first 9 squares, like 4 of those photos, and then follow them. If you're targeting your market correctly, they will follow you back. I promise. Like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna follow you back, unless they're like not active on Instagram. Okay. It's all targeting. That's the most important part. If you guys get nothing out of this, but finding your target market, that's important. That will help you on every single platform, everything that you're doing, not just Instagram, okay? Okay, another way to target, that's just one way. Another way to target is you can take your hashtags that you listed, because you listed like 50, right? You can take those and search those and start engaging with people that are using those hashtags. So like, say one of my hashtags was 90s baby, okay? Or like 90s chick or something like that. So I'll search that hashtag, and then I go through and like the first 50 pictures that show up in that hashtag. And if it's like a really good one, if I'm like, okay, this girl looks like, you know, my age range, my demographic, all of that, then I'll go to her profile and engage with it further. So I'll like 4 photos and follow. Okay. Are you guys following me, or is this like too much? Okay. All right. So, it sounds overwhelming, and you are going to be like, feel like you're doing nothing but Instagram for like a week, because you'll want to get on and do this pretty often. Like when I first started doing it, like the first week or 2, I was literally on Instagram like every hour or 2 doing this. Now I spend probably like once or twice a day doing it. But you can definitely do this a lot. You do want to be careful though, because if you're following 100 profiles in an hour, Instagram's going to shut you down. You don't want to do that. And also, if you're liking more than 100 pictures an hour, Instagram's going to shut you down. So you need to be really careful with it, and do not mass follow, okay? I've tried mass following. Targeting works way better. You can mass follow in like accounts that you're like, okay, you know, my people like Starbucks. I'm going to go in Starbucks account and mass follow. That doesn't work, because not everybody that follows Starbucks is going to like me, really, you know? Like maybe they like clothes. Maybe I hit someone that does like fashion. She's a trendy mom, but she's not my age range, you know? So there's no point in following her. What I did by doing that is, if I follow her and she follows me back, I just screwed up my algorithm. That's what I did. So you need to be careful with it. Okay. All right. Okay. So how to engage, what I mean when I say engage. Okay. You can engage in several ways: liking photos, following, and genuinely commenting. Do not go in people's profiles and comment, "Cool pic." Nothing screams spam more than that, okay? Nothing. Well, actually, there is one more thing that screams spam more than that, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so, okay, I already talked about 4 photo likes and a follow. Okay, so for posting on Instagram, actually, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about this now. Okay, so following people. Where did I put this at? I don't even know where I put this at, but I know what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. Okay, so when you're following people, you don't want to have your following higher than your followers. And there's a reason for this. Because if people go into your profile and they see, oh, this girl has 1,000 followers, that's cool, but she's following 4,000 or 5,000, that to them just screams, they're just wanting me to follow them back. They don't genuinely care what I have to say as a person or as a customer. They're just mass following, you know? So you definitely do not want to do that. That looks spammy. Keep your following lower. I think my following usually hangs around like 600 or so, because that's like a normal number. I generally don't go unfollow people that I've followed and then they follow me back. I don't unfollow them. I know some people will recommend that you do that to keep your following low, but honestly, you just need to be more stingy about who you're following. Make sure that they're going to follow you back, you know, and that they want to see what you have to say. If you find yourself following everybody and then having to go mass unfollow people that like didn't follow you back all the time, then you need to target better. Okay. Okay. So going into that, I have a few apps that I use that help me with this, not only with engagement, but also trying to figure out like who your target market is. This is going to help you, especially in the beginning. You're going to have to unfollow people when you're trying to figure out your target market. You're going to be hitting follow on someone's and it's going to be a miss. You're going to be like, okay, that person wasn't my target market, and you need to kind of reevaluate that. But it's okay to be doing that in like the first month or so, because this is what I did too. But there's a couple of apps that I use to help me with this. One of them, I know it's on iPhone because I have an iPhone. If you have Android, hopefully it's on there too, or there's something similar. The one I use, it's called Followers and then a plus sign. Okay. This one, it gives me really good analytics on everything. It shows me, what hashtags I've used that were the most engaging. It shows me each picture, like which one was my top one and things like that. And it changes all the time. It updates every time I log into it. And it also, this is the good part, it tells me what percentage of my followers were engaged on a specific post. So I know if I do a post and it gets 2% engagement, I need to do better. If I make a post and it gets 12% engagement, that's all right, you know? So to kind of back off of that a little bit, typical Instagram engagement is around 1.5% to 2%. Okay, that's typical. If you're over that, you're getting a lot of people's attention, and where you really want to be is at least like 7 to 12. Those are going to be your best posts. And I mean, if you can get higher than that, like, you're doing really good. Okay. Okay. Another one that I have used that one of my directs told me about actually is called Cleaner. And that one's really good for like when you're starting out, and it will help you to kind of mass unfollow if you like are like, okay, I should not have been following in that account. None of these people followed me back. So it will help you to kind of mass unfollow a bunch at a time. But keep in mind, Instagram doesn't like it if you unfollow 100 people in an hour. So what Cleaner does is it will set up like in the background. So what I have it set to do is like 40 in an hour, and then it will go in the background and do another 40. Okay. That will help you a lot when you're trying to figure out what accounts you should be following in, what accounts you should be engaging with their followers. Does that make sense? Okay, and then photo editing. I'm not like good at like taking pictures or anything. And this is why I think that target market is so important, because I mean, a lot of you guys have seen my Instagram. I'm not like this like blogger type. Like I'm not good at taking like really good pictures. My husband takes most of my pictures. And I'm not like super consistent posting on there like every single day. You know, what matters more is targeting people. Okay. But I do have some photo editing apps that I like and use, and I think that you guys would probably like them too. The first one is Visco. It's VSCO. Like, let me try, maybe I'll type this in there. VSCO. Okay, there we go. So it's VSCO. That one's really good. There's like a lot of different filters on there and stuff. I also really like Snapseed. My Periscope's going off. Snapseed for like lighting issues and stuff. Snapseed's really good for that. And Facetune. If you have a pimple, Facetune gets rid of it for sure. And also like if like most of my pictures like with outfit pictures are like in front of my garage, and I live in Texas and it's dirty here because it's like the freaking swamp. So like in Facetune they have a little cleaner brush so I can like clean my garage. It is awesome. I love it. Most of the time, you guys, there's like dirt all over my garage, but nobody knows because I use Facetune. But okay. All right. That's the helpful apps. Okay. Something that I just heard of like recently, this is kind of a recent thing. And I just kind of threw this into the tail end of this. And then after I talk about this, then I'll like open up for questions. I think I see some going in the chat. So there's this thing called shadow ban going on Instagram right now. So what that means is if Instagram thinks that you're spamming, they will literally hide your posts from anybody that isn't already following you. So if you use a hashtag, people will click on that hashtag to search it. Your post won't show up in the public pictures of that hashtag. And I've done some research on this, and the reason why it happens is if you're using the same hashtags over and over again, Instagram flags you and they think that you're spam. And it's going to happen more often to business accounts than personal accounts. So, and I mean, this is really what you should be doing anyway, is kind of changing up your hashtags every time. But I've been kind of lazy the past week because of Bloom and everything. And so I found this website, and I'll post a link in our group after. But I found this website where you can look up like your Instagram handle, and it will tell you if any of your posts have been shadow banned. I had one that was shadow banned that I posted at Bloom because I used the same hashtags from the previous photos that I'd posted. So change up your hashtags every time. Make sure that they're relevant. Don't just hashtag life, you know, like hashtag something that is like relevant to the photo in some way or another. You know, if you're posting, you know, a dress, hashtag, you know, dress, don't hashtag midi skirt. You know what I mean? Something like that. Okay. I think I got through everything. I don't think I forgot anything, but okay, I'm going to unmute you guys. Actually, do you guys know how to raise the hand on here so that you guys can ask questions? I'm going to scroll through this. Okay. Yeah, they can totally deny the request. Oh, really? Abby? Okay. Okay. Who has a question? Okay, yeah. If you click, do I have to click that? More. Yeah. Here, I'm just gonna, I unmuted you guys. Okay. Go ahead, ask questions, guys.
How have your sales from Instagram been?
I'd say about 80% of my sales this entire summer have been on Instagram. And I have been working with my team. I did in because I did 2 live sales in May. Like in all of May, I did 2 live sales, which is weird for me because I usually only do live. So I did 2 live sales in May, and I still ended the month at like 12K, which is pretty low for me, but it was pretty decent having all of it June is what I meant. June. It was still pretty decent having like most of it come from Instagram, you know, especially when I kind of didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, if it's all targeting though. Okay, I'm trying to unmute you guys again.
Do they purchase by saying sold on your Instagram, or do you direct them to your party site?
I don't direct them to my party site. They go there. I don't ever, like, I get messages from people sometimes saying, like, hey, like, what is this? Can you, like, send me, like, a picture of this? You know, like, I saw this on your site. Can you send me a picture? Whatever. And, I mean, I just answer them, like, normal. But I don't ever, like, in my posts, I'll say, like, okay, you can shop this now, and my link is below. And they just go there. They do it. I don't, like, pressure them. Post it, put it out there, and they will go themselves if you're targeting the right way.
Shelby, can you hear me by chance?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What was the percentage? I got booted off for some reason. What would you say the percentage was of your sales from Instagram?
Like 80, 90, like most of it.
No way.
Yeah, seriously. Like
But what about your Periscope sales?
Periscope has not been doing super hot lately.
Really? Even with all your million viewers?
Yeah,
Please tell me you can't see my face on this thing. I have no eyebrows on.
I can't. Who is it?
Oh, thank God, I would scare you guys.
I don't even know who is talking to me. No.
It's Missy.
Oh, hey, Missy. No, I can't see you. Periscope has been slow lately, like for the past few months, and we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, that's why like most of us.
Yeah, I saw you doing illegal hashtags. I'm not gonna hate on you.
Thank you.
Well, you announced it. It wasn't a secret, so.
Well, I had to tell you guys not to follow me yet. Let me go inspire by myself first.
No, I only saw your post, and I get pop-ups from you guys every now and again, and I see your tags, and I'm laughing. But
honestly, like I really haven't had time to do Periscope like I used to because I have 30 directs, you guys. So I spend a lot of time with them. And
yeah, definitely.
That's what I've spent most of the summer doing. I like pretty much all of my sales from July have come from Instagram.
That's crazy. I like that though.
Yeah. That's why I think we need to all be on Instagram because it's such like an untapped market. Like seriously.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey,
right.
Can you hear me?
Let me go through and read these questions because I know people were asking stuff. Okay. Yeah, you can switch it to a business account, Abby. If you just go into the settings, it'll let you switch it. We're on Instagram, and so does a whole bunch of rad team members, so that's fine. Okay, how do we find out their marital status? Like, they'll just say, like, they say it in their bio. They'll say, like, married to, and then tag their husband.
Oh, okay. I was like, where is she finding it? Like, I'm going to ask them, give them a survey.
Like, no, people put everything on social media, everything.
That's so weird.
This is what
okay.
And like it's so weird too. Like we'll go into this in like a whole different thing. Like I'll have to do something for you guys on Facebook ads, but even Facebook ads, you can like legitimately you can target people by how much money they make, what kind of credit cards they use, where they shop.
What kind of phone they use.
You can target how old their kids are, if they have an anniversary coming up.
I need room 7 needs a UA, and then he needs to be set up for an ultrasound of his groin.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm muting. Okay, so, Melanie said, isn't that skirting on poaching? No, because that's how you market. If it makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to do it, but that's marketing. That's how you market at all. People are not going to find you. You have to go find them. The only way to have them find you is if you spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on advertising. If you want to have high sales, you have to go find people yourself. They're not going to just find you. Okay. Yeah, and they can always deny the request. I have people deny the request all the time. Yeah, they are, Darcy, they are owned by Facebook. So they have like the same algorithms too. Like sometimes if your post doesn't automatically start getting likes, it's not going to show up in as many people's news feeds on Instagram. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm unmuting you guys again.
Definitely has a lot of Periscope followers.
Okay. Any other questions? I unmuted you guys.
Can you hear me, Shelby?
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? Hey, you know what I noticed is that, like you were saying, you aren't salesy on there.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a LuLaRoe girl I just started following, and she is very salesy. Like the price right on the picture, and in the thing it says comment below sold and all that. Guess how many likes she has on each picture?
How many?
Like 1 to 3 on each one. I literally stalked her and looked at all of them.
Yeah.
And then I go to like another LuLaRoe girl that's just showing how cute she looks in her front yard in a super cute outfit. She doesn't say a word about it. She just has some good hashtags, and she has, 150 likes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? People see through that salesy kind of stuff,
You can see it from a mile away.
And it does not look like a magazine. You know how you were saying it has to kind of look like a magazine, or Caitlin was?
For sure.
Is that it just looks like a Sears ad, like a catalog, not a magazine.
Yeah. Yeah. You want it to like really kind of showcase who you are, what you do, and kind of give them like a feel for like who you are, because how else are they going to know, like, and trust you? That's what you need to build. Once you build know, like, and trust, sales are going to come like from nowhere after you build that. It's the same thing, like when, like how on Periscope, how there's hearts and stuff, like if somebody has no hearts and no followers, why would someone buy from them?
Yeah.
Right.
Credibility.
Yeah, you need the credibility first. That's why I tell everybody you have to just keep going. I had so many where I sold nothing. And it wasn't immediate with Instagram either. It wasn't the first day, I definitely the first week on there when I was hitting it really hard, the first week, and then I took a break for a few days. I did over $3,000 on Instagram the first week of June.
You're making me crazy, Shelby.
I'm serious. This is an untapped market, you guys. You guys need to be doing Instagram.
How do you know that it's coming from Instagram, Shelby?
What?
How do you know that the sales are coming from Instagram? Do you have a separate party site link for that?
I have a separate link.
I'm creating a party as we speak right now.
Good.
Now.
Me too. Okay, Brooke asked, how do you get sales from Instagram if you don't post your link in your pictures? Because of the way that I'm targeting people. Yeah, the link is in my bio. I have Linktree. So Linktree is, I have a link on there that says shop now, and it's connected to a different party link. The party link is only there, so I know where sales are coming from. And you can't, like Wendy said, you can't just post like, oh, I have this, it's $28, What I do instead is I'll post a picture. Like I posted a picture a few weeks ago of me in an essential tank. And I was like, I love that we have tank options, and they're such a great price too. The link is in my bio. That's it. I just said it's a great price. And I don't even know, I think I had like 60 clicks on my shop now button that day after I did that. It's just, you have to, it's your copy. This is what it's called. It's the words that you use to talk to your customers and people that are like maybe going to buy from you. It's to intrigue them enough to go into your bio and click that link. So I was kind of mysterious about it. Like, they're a really good price. So they're like, now I have to know, Okay. Any other questions?
I have one, Shelby.
Okay.
What? I lost my train of thought. Okay, so two things. One, because you're talking about the party site and having that open just for Instagram. I'm fairly new, so my inventory is fairly small. So what I started out doing in my first couple of weeks was opening the party site and then taking it down and then doing a live and then putting it back up and doing that back and forth thing. If we don't have a big enough inventory to leave a whole bunch of things up there open all the time in Instagram, do you think that, I mean, how do you navigate that when you don't have a large inventory?
I would leave it open. Do you
Okay.
close it down to do you do like in-home parties and like close it down?
No.
Or you're just
I haven't done, no, everything I've done has been online.
Yeah, don't close it. Just leave it open because each
Okay.
party, if you're selling only through the party site and not doing like albums and stuff, then it's all going to come out of the same place. It's all going to, even if it's on different parties, it's still going to come out of your inventory. So you can't oversell. And most of my Instagram sales come in at like 2 or 7 in the morning, like crazy times, you know? And they just want to shop whenever they want to shop. So yeah, I would leave it open. I leave both of my links open all the time. Actually, I think I have 3. I have all 3 of them open all the time because I have one in my Periscope, one in hey Brandy, one in my regular one in my Facebook group that I like post wherever, and then my Instagram one. So I leave them all open.
Okay. And then completely separate topic on the shadow banning. The hashtag Agnes and Dora or hashtag that I use a lot, so maybe not so much.
I think that's okay because it's like in your name, but like if you're using 30 of the same hashtags over and over again, that's what flags it.
Okay.
I actually learned that a little while ago where I was saving my hashtags to copy and paste them. And if you do that more than once or twice, they actually won't even let you post it.
Yeah, they will. I've noticed that too. So it's way easier to just, you can start with like a base hashtags, which is what I've kind of been doing, is starting with a base, and then I'll go through and erase some of them and change them out.
Yeah.
But shadow banning, it's so like new to like a whole bunch of people, and nobody really knows how they pick who to shadow ban and who to not shadow ban. So it's really just a guessing game. Nobody knows except for Instagram how they do that. So.
But how do you know if you are being banned?
There's a website I'll post the link in our group about it, because they it's a website where you can put in your handle and it'll tell you if a specific post has been shadow banned. I had one that was shadow banned.
Ooh.
Because I was at Bloom and I was just copying and pasting hashtags on everything that I posted there.
I copy and paste mine every time. I've only changed them like 3 times.
So what that means is like it's still going to show up in your followers' news feeds, but it's not going to show up when like a person that's not following you is searching the hashtag Agnes and Dora. It's not going to show up in that long feed. That's bad.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You may have addressed it earlier and I wasn't on. When you are doing a Instagram live, is there a way that you can use hashtags? I try to like put a title to my live video and there's nothing I can ever find.
Yeah, there's no way to title your live on Instagram. I meant to talk about this too. I wrote it down and I forgot. Okay, so live on Instagram is different than live on other platforms because you can't title it, and it only shows to your followers. It doesn't show to everybody. There's no like mass search where you can search like on Periscope to search the lives. It will only show like the top lives, which is basically women.
And I need a urine on him. Okay. And then he can go, and we'll set up his ultrasound tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I have this theory, and I haven't like fully tried it out yet, just because I've been busy. But I think you guys should try it and let me know how it goes. So I've tried doing like actual live sales on Instagram, and I think they're too long. I think it's too long for the Instagram people, because Instagram, they're used to just swiping, and then in the stories, they're used to just going. So if you're going to do live, keep it short and sweet. Keep it like a preview, like a quick preview of like one thing, and be like, okay, there's more. And it's easier to just add like short little videos to your story, or like short little like pictures in previews in your story. So your I know, right? Sorry, I was just reading the comments. So when you're using the stories, that's where you want to put like all your like selfies and like things that you would post in your group. Not like, I'm not talking like engagement posts, but just like funny things. Like today, my son decided to put lipstick on. So he had lipstick, like, I mean, he did it pretty good too. He got it all over his lips and then like all down his face. So I put that in my Instagram story and I put it in my Facebook group too, you know? So like things like that kind of let people behind the scenes, like into your life, save that stuff for stories and save your pretty pictures for your feed. Okay, I'm unmuting you again. Okay.
Have you done a live sale on Instagram?
Yeah, I have. And I don't think that they work well just because they are too used to having short, sweet things, you know? I think you should use live just for little previews, not wholesales like you do on Paris. Okay. The person that's on the phone with your doctor, make sure you mute yourself, please.
Yeah, I think you're violating all sorts of HIPAA.
I think it's a nurse. Somebody's a nurse.
Somebody's at work.
Yeah.
All right.
Which one is the one where your video can go longer than a minute?
That's live. That's on live.
Because I did it and it was totally cut off, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
That's the story, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the stories.
But how come some people are in the story and they're going for like 30 minutes?
It's not live. Live and stories go to the same thing on Instagram.
Oh my God.
All right. Okay. Type your questions, guys, because it's like too loud. Or maybe like unmute yourself if you have a question. Darcy, are you raising your hand for a reason, or was that just already there? Here. Okay. Darcy, what's up?
It was like forever ago.
Oh, was it?
I tried to do it was
Sorry.
when you were first asking if anybody knew how to do that, and I was like,
I know.
there it
I was
is.
like, I don't know. I know.
It was right there. Look,
So
it
loud
worked.
Zoom. Okay.
I was gonna ask the question that somebody else I think already addressed about like the hashtags, and like obviously every Instagram post I do says Agnes and Dora on it.
Yeah.
But you think that's okay as long as I'm I mean, I do personalize.
I think
them
that's
for
okay
every
because I do
picture.
Agnes and Dora in literally all of mine, and
Yeah.
none of those posts have got flagged.
Yeah.
I'll post the link to that little website though. Let me write this down to post the link. Otherwise I'm gonna forget.
And I had something else and now I forget. The whole like having more people that you're following than followers. I feel like mine is like that, but it's because it was my personal account before.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like half.
You might want to
personal,
go,
half-
go in Cleaner, download the Cleaner app, because that will even let you unfollow people that are inactive. Like if they have not been in the Instagram app for 90 days, you can unfollow them, and they're not going to care. You know, like they don't even use it, you know?
Yeah.
And you can also pick people like that, like it'll also show you who your ghost followers are. So people that follow you but don't see your posts and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that's invaluable, seriously, because you can see their name. You can literally just open your Instagram app and start engaging with them, you know? So it's really cool. I really like that one.
And that's, what was that called again?
Cleaner. Yeah, Cleaner. And I know they have it on iPhone because I have an iPhone. So
I have an iPhone too, so we're good.
I know. Okay, yeah. Like Emily said, unmute yourself if you have a question, because I don't. Zoom is hard.
Shelby.
Yeah, Starling.
How are you learning all this information? Is there somewhere to go to read up on this stuff?
Okay, there's no one place. What I've been doing, what started it is a webinar that I watched by Hillary Rushford. Google her. She's got this like free webinar about Instagram that really taught me basics. After that, I've been listening to podcasts and literally researching for 2 months, like just reading everything that I can about it. And I did a lot of trying things to see if they worked for me and if I liked them, because other people said that they worked for them. So I would try stuff out and decide, okay, no, that's probably not a good tip, you know? So it's really, I mean, I'd be to guess maybe like 100 different sources. I'm not even joking. Like this is what I've been doing, like talking to my team, researching Instagram, following, you know, like that's it.
You need to write an Instagram for Dummies book?
I've thought about it, but I mean, I'm too busy selling Agnes and Dora to do.
Is this it, Show? Can you see that?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
So it's like the 4 colorful squares.
Yeah, that's cleaner.
Okay, because there's 2. There's this one. There's like Power Clean.
No, not Power Clean. It's just called Cleaner.
And then Insta Clean for Instagram specifically.
Yeah, it's just called Cleaner. Actually, I'm gonna look at it too. Just
downloading it and installing it right this second.
Yeah, it's got the like the 4 boxes on it. And then Followers Plus looks like kind of Facebook. It looks like the Facebook person. There's 3 of them and then a little plus sign. And it's literally, it's called Followers with the plus sign. Followers Plus.
What is the difference between those two?
Cleaner is more for cleaning up your followers and following and stuff. And Followers Plus is more for analytics. So it tells you like what hashtags are working for you, what posts did well, your engagement percentages on each post, things like that. Okay. Any other questions? Unmute yourself if you have a question.
Are you going to go look at all our Instagrams and make sure we're being good?
No, I don't have to do that. I mean, if you want me to look at your Instagram and see if I have any suggestions, but also I'm really not a expert. I just have researched all of this.
So, hey, Shelby, is it called Insta Cleaner?
No, it's just called Cleaner.
I do have a question.
Okay, what's up, Kat?
Can you go over one more time about the best way to target?
Like finding your target market or when you're actually targeting?
Well, I guess kind of. I feel like it's such a loaded process that I don't know where to start.
It is. Okay. The easiest way, I think, I mean, especially you just launched. So what I would think about is think about who your best friends are and think about yourself. Okay. Come up with qualities in you and your best friends and kind of narrow that down into your target market. And over the next month or so, as you kind of are like looking in like profiles that you think your target market would be following and going through Cleaner, you'll notice there's going to be less and less that you have to unfollow because you'll be like, okay, I'm getting it. This one was a better one to go through, you know? This was a better hashtag to use. Things like that.
Like, for example, like I definitely think that for me, I would like to try to do some in-homes. I live in a really beachy kind of hippie community. Everybody is kind of like, F you corporate, support the local business. So I kind of feel like I would like to open up my home and invite people in.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out how to.
Okay, so what you're going to want to do, this is what I would do if I was in your shoes. Think about local boutiques around you. Local boutiques, local, like, I mean, even like accessories, shoe stores, coffee shops, whatever, you know, even like local food places. Go in and like look in who's commenting on what, you know, and I would find people that way. That's where I would start with you. If you're wanting to do more local, I would seriously go to like Yelp and find local boutiques in your area and go to their Instagrams because they probably have them and engage with those followers.
Thank you.
No problem.
Where do you live, Kat?
Oh, I live in Ocean Beach, which is in San Diego.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm all the way west. I'm like 3 blocks from the ocean in San Diego.
Oh, I'm jealous. That sounds nice.
Well, are you going to come to the Orange County tour?
You know what? My mom asked me that today. I guess I am.
Where does she live?
In Arizona.
Okay. Well, I'm about like an hour from Orange County. Okay. I already told Lauren that if you guys want to stay like an extra day or 2, by all means, we can have a girl party.
Yeah. I know. Laura and I decided that like probably like 2 days into Bloom, we were like, we're coming a day early next time. We're going to go get massages.
Yeah, come here.
I know.
Come over. We'll have a party.
We'll do it.
Do you
Okay.
guys I know this is completely off topic, but do you guys know how long they plan on having these little tours?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
What is it exactly?
It's like little like meetups, you know, kind of like mini conventions.
All I thought of is going to the main Agnes and Dora building and walking around where all the clothes are, like a tour. I was like,
No, it's
yeah.
like little meetups. Like on there's one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording this. Oh yeah, there you go. Did you guys see that comment from Melanie? Independent We Stand is a great app for finding small local businesses.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one.